This lore video will be something like a guide to the Gnostic weapon series lore and how they correlate with each other. Each new patch update, we get a new battle pass, and this cutscene about a journey of a crowned heir of an unknown kingdom. After the cutscene, we are greeted with 5 weapons. Genshin is loosely based on Gnostic mythology, and this is one place where the connection is directly shown. By buying the Gnostic Hymn or the Gnostic Chorus, we are given extra rewards and 1 weapon crate. And that 1 weapon crate you get every battle pass belongs to a series called Gnostic Hymn series. These weapons on the surface doesn't make much sense or relate to each other in any way. But if you look closely at each weapon, they all end in a dark note. Memories and stories of great people who went astray, or people who got stomped by the world because of their selfish desires. Spoiler alert, most of them contain death. Before we start, there is a link in the description to a Reddit post where I put all the links of each marker on the map and a high resolution image of the Gnostic weapon map I put together. So check that out if you are interested after watching this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's dive into the dark lore behind the Gnostic Hymn weapon series. First, we have the Gnostic Hymn logo itself that eerily resembles the omnipresent statue in Inazuma. And in one of my previous videos, I brushed off a theory I had about how the story of the Gnostic Hymn might be about the person who is possessing the post of unknown goddess now, and how the heavenly principles, the statue, and the unknown goddess connects. But it's highly speculative. The link's in the description for that video. So, if we zoom out a little more, we get the weapons, and if we zoom out entirely, we get the whole map. It looks a little complex and like a maze, but I'll navigate you through. Let's start with the Deathmatch. This weapon with the ominous name belonged to a gladiator who was once a slave of the Lawrence clan, but due time and after numerous kills under the Lawrence clan name, he won his freedom. But after countless deaths, he craved for more, and for more blood. So he stayed with the Lawrences, continuing to kill. With the weapon came the Gladiator's Finale artifact set. In the artifact set and the weapon, there is a mentioning of a red-haired girl numerous times, and it is speculated that this girl is Vanessa, and she managed to defeat the gladiator in the end. And after his defeat and the fall of Lawrence clan, the bloodthirsty gladiator gave up on killing. He was lost and had no purpose in life. So he wandered Teyvat aimlessly until he died. Using Vanessa's connection from the Genshin manga prologue, we know that this happened around 1000 years ago in the late aristocratic period of Mondstadt. And also, Ancient Investigation Journal Part 2 has a mentioning of this gladiator. Back to the weapon circle and Serpent Spine. This claymore belonged to a sailor in Liyue named Skipper. He was like the Beidou of that era, and the sword was made from the bones of a dead sea monster. It was common back then to decorate ships with monster bones to scare off other sea predators. And according to the Tales from the Waves book, we get to see the story of Skipper and his crew fighting a sea monster, but unfortunately, the ship and the crew took too much damage, and as well as the monster. In the end, Skipper managed to kill the monster, but his ship never came to shore. But only the monster's dead body, the serpent spine, and the iron sting was washed up to the shore. The story of the serpent spine ends there, and more about the crew are said in the Heart of Depth artifact set. But Skipper had a chief mate named Parsifal. He was the legitimate son of Landerich of the Lawrence clan. Also was the predecessor of Dark Knight hero and was given the name Phantom Thief. He fell in love with a slave girl and gave her a sapphire gem that he robbed from a mansion. But unfortunately, she got caught and was tortured to get a word out of her. Though she blamed Parsifal, she was falling for him too. After some time, she managed to learn magic and spear arts and became the blue-eyed spear witch. Then Albahart, Landerace's illegitimate son, became her student and backstabbed her and killed her while she let her guard down. This story connects to the Serpent Spine from the Iron Sting lore. It belonged to Parsifal, or Skipper's chief mate. And Albahart, I think, is the one from the manga. From this correlation, we can estimate this also happened around 1000 years ago in the late aristocratic period of Mondstadt. Zoom out, zoom in. Solar Pearl. The story of the Solar Pearl is kind of all over the place. In the same description, there are two origins to the same weapon, and one is where it absorbed all the light from the heavens and was placed in a box where it collected darkness, and the other one goes like this. A craftsman named Kunwu, who learned in Sumeru Academia millennia ago, came across the sundial of endured jade made by Morax. He was fascinated by it so much that he dedicated his whole life to making a similar sundial, and he managed to do it. While working on it, he created the Kunwu series, and the Solar Pearl was one of them. Although he never specified how he made it, some jade merchants speculate that Kunwu absorbed all light from heaven to the weapon and kept it in a cave where no light came for 49 days and 20 hours. I tried looking into what it meant, but only found that in China, some Buddhists keep dead bodies for 49 days after parting, which I'm not sure about. But as a Buddhist, we do give prayers to the dead person after 7 days of parting. Down the map, the Viridescent Hunt. Once upon a time, there lived a hunter who lived under the protection of the Dendro Archon, the god of the woods. She was named the Queen of the Hunters and used the Viridescent Hunt, only to hunt prey for survival. She never killed for revenge nor entertainment. But when the cataclysm 500 years ago happened, the trees stopped talking to her, indicating the god of woods has been perished. In the midst of all the chaos, she encountered a boy, but he was also killed by monsters. And his final request to survival made the hunter go on a path of vengeance. Although she entered human society on the path of vengeance, she never taught and was given the name Viridescent Hunt. She left her bow in the woods, and her artifact set was named Viridescent Hunt Artifact Set. She died in the time between 500 to current day period, but the details are unknown. From the connection to the cataclysm, we can estimate this happened around 500 years ago. Last but not least, we have the Black Sword. This weapon's past must be the most deep-rooted lore out of all the weapons. The story starts with a man obsessed with justice and chivalry and carried a sword now known as the Black Sword. The true name of the knight is unknown, but throughout lore bits he was known as the White Knight or the Bloodstained Knight of Mondstadt. This person's story is connected to the Bloodstained Chivalry artifact set. The story goes like this. The so-called White Knight, who came from a noble family, was given a white artifact set and a shining white sword. Due to his obsession over justice, he joined the extermination mission of monsters during Cataclysm 500 years ago. On the path of justice, he went haywire and killed aimlessly and ended up in the abyss where he finally died. It is said that he killed so much that his sword and the artifact set are tainted black from the dried up blood, and crows followed him everywhere due to the blood stench on him. That's where his story ends, but if we backtrack, White Knight's mentor was a person named Rostam. He was the junior of the Grandmaster of Knights of Harmonious at that time and the lover of Rosaline, who goes by the name of La Senora now. The story of these three characters are mentioned in the Defender's Will artifact set too. That's it for the lore details. Don't forget, the link to the map and the details are in the description. From what I observed, the top 3 weapons stories happened around 1000 years ago, and the bottom 2 happened 500 years ago in the Cataclysm period. This leads me to speculate if a different cataclysm happened 1000 years ago. Maybe a minor one that didn't outbreak into the mainland Teyvat like the one that happened in khaenri'ah. Also, I think the power or the passive of the weapons come from the memories or soul fragments trapped in them. From the 2.1 Archon quest, we saw A willingly trap her soul in a sword, so it's a possibility. And also, most of the weapons higher than 3 stars contain a relatively larger description, and some even contain dialogues. The best example I found was from the Festering Desire, which contains these lines. This is a memory that a child named Durin had of his mother. Thank you, mother, thank you. You gave me wings to soar and a mighty form. Mother, I wish to go to a land of lovely songs. I will tell them about you, mother, and about everyone else. I shall tell them that the place where I was born is beautiful. This is just my observations and is highly speculative, and use this only as food for thought. As always, I'm Ekamin. Thanks for watching. Tell me your theories and questions in the comments. Like the video and subscribe. And until next time, stay safe and don't be like the people we got to know today.